Good morning. Welcome everybody. Today's Saturday, 21st of August. It's 11 o'clock and delighted to have you all here. And people will join throughout this call. So, and we'll, if there are any questions, please do put them in the chat. So, Shevega cooking classes, experts in veterinary nutrition. That's Dr. Melina Fielder. Hi, Melina.
Hi, everyone. We are so happy to have you here with us.
Wonderful. And myself, a senior lawyer and ethical vegan, specialist in ethics and sustainability. So this is going to be every Saturday, very short courses on easy cooking for your pets. I'm going to show a little short video that we love. It's a case study. It's an absolute true story. It works. And here goes.
Just get another slide, Ruby. Ruby.
Hi, apologies for the sound, but that's basically the work of Shevega. Now, why did we start this work? So Melina has been working with companies, global companies around the world, advising on pet nutrition, and not only is she a senior vet surgeon, she's also a pet nutritionist, and that's a really important combination. And myself with being an ethical vegan for over 14 years, and now with a dog who's been vegan for 9 years, it was ensuring that he was getting the best supplements. Now, as a lawyer, certainly the law is quite outdated with regards to animal welfare. Veganism, there's just only recently been a case in the UK where veganism has been recognised as a belief system that should be protected, which means that if you're in prison or in hospital or an employee, there should be options for you. It's still formulating, but what it means is that people could potentially take their employers, or if they're in hospital, the management, or in the prison system, if they're not being able to have the option of vegan because it is recognised as a belief. Now that's the human side. Here you can see this was on the 9th of May 2021, and Melina alerted me to this. This was a vegan couple who were banned from owning pets after feeding
Ruby, I have to stop you because we can't see. We are still on a first slide. Pets are family.
Lovely.
So it's not going, even
lovely.
video we couldn't see.
No problem. What about now? Can you see this?
No, it's still pets are family.
No problem.
And I can see in the chat there are 2 messages that they couldn't see as well.
No problem. Okay, let's work on that. Can you see it now?
Lovely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We can maybe repeat the.
Lovely. Okay, no problem. So, so we'll repeat the video at the end. So on this, the vegan couple who were banned from owning pets after feeding their severely malnourished puppies a meat-free diet. This is really important. Our work at Shevega is really advocating that you cannot just transition a pet to a vegan diet without proper advice. As a matter of fact, you can do them more harm. And now with science, facts, and information, it's really important to sort of ensure that you are getting, proper advice on that. It's very much like when people went vegan. For instance, myself, there wasn't advice out there. You don't immediately turn vegan. You have to understand your own blood type, your own physiology. You have to do that research and ensure that you're getting the appropriate nutrients, etc. And that's where the work with Shevega is. So here we've got our vegan dogs are omnivores. So many times we hear that dogs are carnivores. They're omnivores, which means they have the physiology and the ability to have, a plant-based diet, and we'll talk more about that in terms of supplementing, as well as a carnivorous diet. So the key things here are that the nutrients are required in accordance with VDF and AFCO for healthy meals. Those are the two organisations that you need to comply with. The standards are appropriate, but they aren't rigorous. But you do need to ensure VDF and AFCO compliance with regards to ensuring healthy and nutritious food for your pets. And then, of course, you need protein to build up tissues and digestive enzymes to ensure that they have all the amino acids. And then, of course, energy from protein, fat, and carbohydrates. Vitamins, minerals, and essential fatty acids, including omega-6 and omega-3, so that's the DHA and EPA, and Shevega do provide those supplements, are also essential as part of a healthy diet for your pet. And of course, another thing that we really advocate is good taste. It is cruelty if you're feeding a pet which doesn't have a choice of its own to give it something that it doesn't enjoy. And of course, spices, herbs, and sauces help in ensuring that you can create healthy and nutritious meals for your pets. Now, one person we work very closely with and we have a lot of respect for is Professor Andrew Knight. He's at Winchester University. He has done incredible research from 2011 on vegan pets, and he recently did a study on dogs and cats and looked at all aspects of from health, nutrition to taste to physiology, etc., of transitioning your pets to a vegan diet. And his conclusions were that yes, your dogs and cats on appropriate diets can flourish. And so we work very closely with him, and he promotes the work of Shevega, and also we promote his work as well. And so briefly, ingredients from food, including supplements to ensure healthy and tasty food. So here are some of the key things, and then I'll pass over to Melina. So here is protein, grains and legumes, nuts and beans. You need to ensure that pea protein, hemp protein, and amino supplements are in any supplements that you use. And of course, we've provided the key sort of essential amino acids in our supplements. And we also, in the diet plans, provide for the use of pea protein and hemp protein to complete that requirement for amino acids. And then, of course, obtaining carbohydrates, the energy for your pets from plants. And then, of course, fats, and they can come in the form of nuts, oils, and, of course, supplements such as the Shevega omega-3. Then, of course, you've got the vitamins, minerals. They can be from fresh and cooked vegetables and fruit. And again, they're provided for in the Shevega supplements. Gut health, so prebiotics, just like humans need the probiotics for their gut health, which is really, really important. Similarly for pets. And again, they've been provided for in the Shevega supplements. And then, of course, digestive enzymes if needed. Melina, your thoughts on this?
Okay, so I just wanted to say that you saw all those slides that Ruby presented. Thanks, Ruby. And what I would add is that lots of vegan pet owners that are feeding their pets with vegan, vegetarian, or they are planning to make transition from the meat food to the vegan, vegetarian food. They they're maybe not aware, but it would be really important for to know that requirements for vegan, human, and vegan and the pet who is omnivore, like dogs, are different. So humans can be vegan just with food ingredients, normal food ingredients like legumes, grains, whichever, vegetables, and adding maybe only B12. Everything else people can somehow, create, combine, and be fed like a full meal, full diet with all required nutrients. But with dogs, they have much higher requirements in protein, calcium, iron, and some other nutrients. So they cannot be fed just legumes and rice or whichever we saw on that slide. Those two dogs were fed, and people were thinking, okay, if we can eat, they can eat the same and be healthy, which is not the same case. And from time to time, we also notice that with some clients, they don't understand that it is a big difference between the human and dog requirement. And also, there is a big difference in supplements because dogs need to be supplemented with lots of different supplements, ingredients like amino acids, like we have here. Even then, we have to give them some proteins like pea protein or hemp protein that have a full range of amino acids. And then we give them grains, legumes, nuts, beans, vegetables. So because they have high requirements in amino acids to build up their protein, their muscles, their digestive enzymes, they definitely require that. That's number one would be the protein. And the second thing would be supplements. There are difference between supplements. Some supplements are complete, like it's our Shevega supplements. It means that it has amino acids and mainly it's methionine. Sometimes tryptophan or threonine can be given, that's missing. Taurine, carnitine, we know it's not essential for other dogs, but for our vegan dogs, it's essential. Then we have minerals, vitamins. We even gave prebiotics to make healthy guts, the functioning properly. And there are some supplements that have maybe just few of these nutrients. It doesn't have all range. So we have to be aware that with the vegan food, it's really important to have a complete and balanced supplements. And why I'm saying that? Because I just read, I think got email, and it was, or maybe on Facebook, I don't know, that Dr. Becker, she's quite famous vet, and she is promoting now, of course, her raw meat diet. And her, and I believe lots of people are paid by meat industry, and most of the vets that I would say, due to probably limited knowledge in nutrition, and when the vegans come and ask for advice, they can't say why not and why yes, why would they not recommend the vegan food. So it's easier just to be against something that's unknown. And I think it would be really important to educate the fastest, as fast as possible, vegan dog parents or owners to know exactly how to give their dogs, their pets, optimal diet. So no one can actually criticize them, or they really have to put a big argument, and and then I'm sure they wouldn't have the ground to stand on. to be against the properly made, nutritious and tasty vegan dog food. So with the ingredients, like on this slide, we know like in every nutrition, humans or pets, we need calories. So that is energy to all of us, that we need, ingredients to make energy in the body for metabolic processes, for making like normal temperature in the body, and for activities and for everything. So we get from protein, carbohydrates and fats. In vegan dogs, it's important that we also include omega-3, because omega-6 are quite high, and there should be balance between omega-6 and omega-3. And omega-3 should be DHEA and EPA, which is the active forms. Now with our Shevega supplements, we actually added, all vitamins, minerals that are normally missing in one vegan dog food added. So supplements are extremely important. Sometimes digestive enzymes are needed, and that is mainly if you go with transition fast. Transition, if your dogs were before on a meat diet, would last 8 weeks. So you go very slowly for these 8 weeks. And if you notice that dogs might have runny stools or soft stools, which they like 90% dogs on raw meat diets have those runny stools and pathogenic bacteria in the body. So they might even improve with going on plant diet, supplemented, of course. So sometimes digestive enzymes are needed, but they are easy to get, And so in the next slide, Ruby, we can say. Okay, so do you want to?
No, lovely, Melina, after you.
Okay, so yeah, so what we did is we created this Shevega booklet. And inside we have diet plans for puppies, for adult dogs, and even for pregnant and lactating mama dogs. It is possible to start vegan puppy food since they are weaning. So puppies should start weaning about 6 weeks, although you can offer them a bit of different ingredients like tofu and different proteins before. But we had in Shevega clients who started their weaning puppies like with 6 weeks of age. So from the start on vegan food with the supplements, and they were even like their body weights were not average, but they're a bit over average. So they grown up into healthy adults without any problems. So we presented diet plans here in Shevega with our Shevega supplements, because we calculated that is all that match each other, the diet plans and the supplements, because we know what's missing in our diet plans, and then we created that and added through the Shevega supplements. So that will be the best combination to get both of it. Yeah, Ruby, do you have anything to add on that?
No, lovely. Thank you so much, Melina. And also to say, Melina, when we first started the research, we looked at every single supplement on the market, and the composition, the ingredients, what was being said about it. And so when we made the statement that these were the best and the most complete, premium supplements, as a lawyer, you have to be very careful of the statements that you make because of the law on misrepresentation, trade descriptions, etc. We did that with authority. And that was really important. So really to understand that when we say that these are, the best and the premium supplements on the market, that's number one. And also the second thing, something that also Dr. Andrew Knight advocates, because he works very closely with Melina, is that you need to ensure that you are backed up by expert advice. And so a lot of the supplements out there, they're sort of formulated just like human nutrition. A lot of very cheap supplements are put out there, and because of marketing, and so they are able to promote the product. With us, we spend more work on research and development and promotion, really sort of homegrown and organic, because we're really passionate about what we're doing. And secondly, we're coming with authority, and that's really key. We could have used a budget for PR and promoting, etc. We didn't want to go down that route, and neither did we want the wrong type of investors. This was really advocacy that's really, really needed to be put out there. So thanks, Melina. And here is, in terms of the measurements and just clarification in the diet plan. So you can see that when we say a cup, we're using a 200 ml cup, which is like a teacup. So it's about this. These are the proportions we use. This cup, a normal sort of teacup, is around a cup is 300 mils. So this is the one that we use for references in the Shevega diet plans. And so just to give you an overview of the recipe that we're going to provide now. So again, if you look at pages 18 to 20 of the diet plan for adult dogs, there will be, the requirement for grains. And what we've done here is we've used a cup of mock duck meat. Now, for those of you who are, because I've also, we've cooked this meal for ourselves as well, you can use something else. You could use tofu, and there are many, many other mock meats that are sort of, without gluten. And then we use legumes, which is lentils. And so we're just using sort of pure wheat protein and not the whole grain, and we've decreased the amount of carbohydrates. So we'll show you that in the recipe. And then, of course, oil. We put in a tablespoon of fresh oil, for example, sunflower, because linoleic acid, and Melina, you can provide input on this, the linoleic acid and the importance of sunflower oil.
Do you want me to tell now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So why is important sunflower oil when it, of course, not heated? Because once we heat any oil or fat, the fatty acids are damaged, and we want them in a fresh form, so not heated. So we'll put a tablespoon of sunflower oil on the ready-made meal. So when it's all finished, no cooking, so mix it in. And why sunflower? Because the coconut oil and the olive oil is not so rich in linoleic acid, which is omega-6, that is required especially with the young animals and pregnant, because they have requirements on arachidonic acid. And so it's also good for adult dogs. So that's why we would stick with also safflower or sunflower oil. They're good. Occasionally we give coconut oil, or we give what's called olive oil as well, virgin olive oil. So we change it. But if the puppies, if we have puppies, vegan puppies, and we have maybe pregnant or lactating mama dogs, then we definitely, it is required lots of linoleic acid for vegans, because arachidonic acid, if it's not synthetic in the natural form, is actually in animal products, so we can't use that. That's why we will need more of linoleic acid.
Lovely. Thanks, Melina. And then we've got cooked vegetables. So we've used a couple of potatoes and mushrooms, and then of course steamed and boiled broccoli, courgette, and spinach. So we'll show you that later, just to give you an overview to ensure that we tick all the requirements of the Shevega booklet diet plan. And then of course something which is really important is to have fresh raw vegetables. So cherry tomatoes cut into quarters, etc. And then to have pea protein, so 2 flat teaspoons, or hemp protein. Again, this is all provided for in the Shevega diet plans. And here goes a recipe that another recipe that we formulated. Apologies for the images. So what you'll need is the measurements are all in the Shevega booklet. So you need potatoes, you've got spinach, you've got cherry tomatoes, got mushrooms, you've got courgettes. What's missing here is broccoli. You've got passata. You can have satay sauce or peanut sauce. And then you've got mock duck. You can get those in cans, or you can use another mock type of meat. The smell is absolutely delicious. Bono loves it. And Norman and Princess as well. And then you have here lentils, a pan of lentils. So they're just sort of soaking here. And it's as simple. So this is really easy, nutritious cooking, not only for yourself, but for your pet as well. And in terms of sustainability, we're passionate about creating something that's sustainable, not only for human beings to have something nutritious, but for your pets, but also to ensure that we're doing something for the planet as well. And of course the Shevega supplements. So here you can see the Shevega supplements and pea protein. So you've got Shevega supplements, you've got pea protein, and you've got omega-3 capsules as well. You can ever so slightly see them. So very, very easy. You've got a sort of mental visual picture of that. To speed things up, here is a cup of cooked mock duck and mushrooms. And this is the consistency of mock duck. It's got a very, very meat-like texture. And here's a cup of the cooked potatoes. So this is going to be our pet's meal for, if he's about sort of 17 to 20 kilogram. And so that's boiled. And then you've got a cup of cooked lentils ready as well. I've reduced it. We reduced it a little bit because we thought we would, have the right consistency when we were blending it. And then steamed vegetables. So you've got the broccoli, or you can boil them. So you've got the broccoli, you've got the spinach. There's courgette in there, and then you've just got sort of halved cherry tomatoes. So here's the ingredients. Very simple: the lentils, the mock duck, and the mushrooms, and a cup of the potatoes, and you've got the vegetables here, and then you've got the Shevega supplements. So it's just mixed up. Here I use a little bit of oat milk, and it's just sort of mixed in. And here's the omega-3 Shevega capsule. And sometimes you can mix this up with maybe peanut butter or cream cheese. Whatever it is, it's very much like children when you're sort of fed supplement. They might not like it, but you can mix it up and it can be very sort of palatable. And it's such an easy meal. So you've got potatoes, you've got the lentils, you've got the vegetables, and you've got the mock duck. Slightly excessive portion here, so forgive me. But here is something that's been created for our pets, and it's just so easy and incredibly easy to cook. And here is the taste expert. So very, very happy. And that's the key thing, in terms of ensuring you've got all the supplements, that it's nutritious. The other thing is psychologically, when you're cooking something for yourself and then sharing it with your pet, I've seen a dramatic increase in, the bond, the empathy, and the understanding, with your pets. And so, Melina, this slide on nutritional importance for vegan dogs and puppies.
Okay. So I would just say before I start talking about nutritional importance that the whole idea of and success of veganism as a movement that want to actually free those farm animals and make them not suffer, like just to break that production and that industry that's extremely cruel cannot succeed without the vegan pets, our pets to be vegan, because there is no point of us not eating meat and animal products and then feeding the pets. It means the farming is still has to be because of our pets. So we have to succeed despite of all opposition that's extremely rich and powerful and everything, like meat industry, vets that on their sides. And so there are two things that we have to provide to our pets to have them as vegan pets. That is nutritious food. So the complete and balanced food with all required ingredient nutrients by the bodies like FDF and EFCO. So we have their requirements done. Okay, so that depends on the diet plan and the supplementing. And number two would be food has to be tasty. Dogs have to love the taste of the food, because it's really important for dog to actually enjoy in the taste of the food. So to make it happening, and going on and be successful, it is important to know which nutrient ingredients or food ingredients we have to include, which is grains and legumes. So the combination of grains and legumes, and in the booklet you have presented which kind of grains are there that you can give to your dogs, and also legumes, because we are getting quite a lot of amino acids there in these nutrients. Whatever amino acids are missing, he said it will be added through pea protein or hemp protein and through complete supplements. So that's with the protein. To have that texture and, as I said, taste of the meat, we can use a gluten product. Dogs are rarely sensitive to gluten, so it's not as many cases of gluten intolerance at all with dogs. So see how that's going. If not, you can have any other mock and tasty nutrient, like for example different vegan cheeses, from cream cheese to hard cheese, what else, like you have a excellent like great taste vegan mayonnaise and other products that can always be given and improve the taste. With tomatoes, I know that the big tomatoes are not good, but cherry tomatoes are good for dogs and they love them and there's no problem. Tomato paste, satay paste, and as I said, pea protein, whites and supplements to add all those missing nutrients. So we have those two requirements the food is nutritious and it's tasty. And we can see the next one. Next slide.
Lovely.
And Ruby, did you want to summarize this?
Sure, sure. So here is a summary of what we've sort of cooked. So, we've got the Shevega recipe booklet, and so in this case we fried the mock duck with the mushrooms. And as Melina said, you can use soy sauce or tomato passate, satay sauce, because ultimately you're having the meal as well. And then you cook the potatoes by boiling them. And you can steam or boil the spinach, the broccoli, the courgette, and then you can add afterwards, once that's cooled down, you can add the pea protein, so 2 flat teaspoons. And Orla's asked the question about, do you put the pea protein in along with the supplements? So we blend the supplements and add the pea protein in, and then you can add the cornstarch or the xanthan gum to make the canned food consistency, and you blend it into the cool, those cups that we showed you. You just blend that all together in a blender, and then afterwards you can add the omega-3 oils and vitamin 3 in the capsule forms just before serving. And the daily quantity is going to depend on the activity and the metabolism, and the age and the optimal weight of the dog. And of course, like Melina was saying, for fussy dogs or puppies, you can use grated vegan cheese or vegan mayonnaise, or cream cheese. So a very, very easy and very delicious and nutritious recipe for pets. And over to you, Melina.
Okay, so why now we have the commercial kibble and canned food, which they're both claiming, the producers, the manufacturers, that it's complete diet, so nothing to be added. But in research, scientific research, we see that only 60% of the nutrients are absorbed. Some percentages less in a kibble than it's in a moist food, but we have to think they're sterilized, so they're cooked under like kibble over 200 Celsius degrees, and canned food over 120. So there are lots of other stuff that giving us like a good impression that we wouldn't like to be fed all the time with these highly processed food. So we would like something fresh daily. Dogs are the same. In nature, they always eat some fresh, then there is no processed and food that is that has like 2 or even more years of expiry date. So it's definitely fresh food is important because it has antioxidants, and we know now through water, food, and everything else, environment, we are absorbing lots of toxins in our bodies. And the reason why dogs have all these new diseases, so-called new human diseases like cancer or like brain inflammations, seizures, different problems, with other organs, which you don't really expect in dogs from veterinary point of view. So it's really important to put some fresh food. I understand that there's no time every day, but you can. It's better sometimes than never. So you can cook in a batch, and maybe 3, 4, 5 times a week you can give your dog good fresh food. So that is the difference between our food. Ingredients, of course, are better quality if we choose them. And the next slide.
Lovely, Melina. And here's the image of the commercial food, as Melina was talking about. So sometimes people don't understand the term commercial food. So commercial food is when it can be dry, kibble, as you can see on the top right, or wet canned food next to it. And that's known as commercial food. So here what we do is we advocate through these Shevega diet plans, which have been very, very carefully crafted to ensure that the pet has all the requisite supplements, and also to avoid expensive vet visits and all the stress that goes with it, when a lot of this could have been proactively prevented, just like humans, through good nutrition and diet. And just to give you an idea of how long the Shevega supplements last, we've given 3 examples here. You've got an adult dog, you've got smaller sized puppies, and medium-sized dogs, and you've got a smaller sort of puppies and pregnant and lactating dogs. And what you notice is that when we use the term beginners, intermediate, or expert, what we're talking about is beginners is something like many of us are. We're very, very busy, and we just buy cans of food or commercial dry food, whether it's meat-based or vegan, because we don't have time. And we've almost been sort of indoctrinated to think that when you have a pet, you just go and commercially get those products, which are sometimes placed right next to detergents and other household toxins. And so, as Melina said, it's not healthy to give your pet that type of commercial food, whether it's meat-based or even vegetarian or plant-based. So an intermediate, so a beginner would be somebody who's just doing that. And of course, in our times, we're appreciative that life is hard and it can be stressful, and sometimes people don't have the time. And in that point, we would say that if you were using the supplements, of course, use a smaller amount, just to know that you're doing something sort of positive with the time that you have. And, the supplements could last you up to sort of 12 months with a small dog, or up to sort of, 2 months when you're talking about the larger Great Danes, etc. Now, an intermediate person is individuals who can cook, when they're cooking for themselves, and they can, use part of that food to share with their pet, but also give them the commercial food because, they're not sure they've got all the nutrients there. In that case, you would use this Shevega supplements again to supplement. And again, it's been, you're advised as to how to use that, whether it's 100% or 50-50. And then, of course, the experts are, like in these courses that we're teaching, is how to get you to cook something that's nutritious for you, but also for your pet. And then how much of the supplements do you use? And, a lot of people who are using the Shevega supplements tend to be on the sort of intermediate, and then of course you've got either side, beginners or experts, but for them the supplements will last them anything between sort of depending on the proportions that they use, anything from 4 months to a year. And so the table sort of sets out that it depends how you use it. For instance, a large Dane, it would, if they really know how they're doing plant-based, and that's quite a rarity, it would last a shorter amount of time. But then, of course, you're saving on all the sort of food that you have to buy, because you're not buying commercial food. At that point, as an expert, you're just giving them your homemade food. So you're saving on the cost of buying commercial food. And then, of course, just as a reminder that these are the adult dog supplements. And then, of course, we have the puppy dog supplements. And we're just mindful of time because we try and reduce our webinars to 40 minutes. If you do have any questions, do send them to info@shevega.com, and I'll put that in the chat. And then, of course, organisations that we're working with, we've signed up with Peter, We're working with the Vegan Society and working with Dr. Andrew Knight, and slowly sort of developing our advocacy from a very sort of ground level up. Melina.
Yeah. So I'm just reading the questions. There are not many questions, so we can definitely answer. For Ola, she said, I was wondering if the protein is total or does it all add up? So when we made the diet plans, we get that in mind that everything which is giving protein, which means grains, legumes, then pea protein when it's added, and in supplements will have all required amino acids and of course the protein, grams of protein. So you can see on a booklet when you have in front of you, it is the amount of calories and amount of protein. So that will be, doesn't need to be in grams, but it's important to be around that amount. So yes, you have to add pea protein powder, because if you want really to get almost like every amino acids or protein through the ingredients, food ingredients like lentils and grains, you need to put so much of these ingredients. And then maybe dog might not digest really properly because it could be lots of fiber in that. It's it's a big volume of food, so we don't want a big volume of carbohydrates as well. So this way, we actually are giving more, like through the pea protein and supplements, powders. We are not, making heavy digestion and digestive problems. So this is the best way to give the protein. And we have a question from David Kartner. I have question, are we getting these booklet recipes after this? What is the best way to get recipes and our Shevega supplements? Because these diet plans, as we said before, they are made in combination with our Shevega supplements. Because as you can notice, like every supplements manufacturers or producers will have their own diet plans, because that's how they calculate it, what is missing. The best way is to actually purchase a starter kit from us, from shevega.com. And then you will have the booklet that you got the booklet for any possible later, if you get puppies or any dog, any age, of your adult dog, or any body weight. So booklet you just buy once and you get diet plans. But what we are doing, because we didn't have time really to put all recipes, that's why we are organizing every Saturday now, based on these diet plans and supplement. We are organizing recipes like we're presenting today. And there will be many of them. So just so people get that idea, as I said, our vegan pet food has to be nutritious and tasty if we want really to succeed on this, our goal to get vegan movement as success, not as mistake.
Lovely.
So yeah, if you have any other questions, please, just send us on email on info@shevega.com, and we will be happy to help, and answer